when the orange asshole announced his selection for Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos, I couldn't understand why. She has no credentials regarding education whatsoever. Betsy DeVos, her claim to fame is that she wants to close every public school in America, unfund them, and replace them with the American version of Sharia law. Only it wouldn't be Muslim Sharia, it would be Christian. Christian teachings that the planet is 7,000 years old, that Adam and Eve had dinosaurs for playmates, that the stars in the sky are really just little pinpricks, and what makes them shine is the light of heaven that shines through those tiny little holes in the firmament. Betsy DeVos is a fucking moron. She's also extremely wealthy. She comes from the family that came up with the greatest Ponzi scheme in America. It's gone through the court several times. They continue to make money because there are still people who desperately feel that this is the only way they can make a living, and that's Amway. Amway. A pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme, whatever you want to call it. It's one of the biggest fucking hustles ever. And it's run by Christians, Christian fundamentalists who will tell you that the gateway to heaven comes partly through buying their products. Christians. No, not Jews, not Muslims, Christians. They have spent, Betsy DeVos's family, both sides, have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to corrupt, undermine, and destroy public education in this country and replace it with this fundamentalist Christian monster, evangelicalism, whatever you want to call it, this gaping, horned beast that wants to devour even an echo of freedom or justice. But I still couldn't figure out, Betsy DeVos, what the fuck? There are other Christian nutfucks out there. I mean, his vice president is one. He's got Christian psychos all over in his cabinet, and a couple of Jews. But the Christian crazies are just salted all through his administration. Why Betsy DeVos? And it didn't take long for me to read, when journalists start revealing that Betsy DeVos's brother is Erik Prince. Erik Prince, the founder of Blackwater, an assassination unit put together to go into countries, these are mercenaries, to go into countries and kill people. Not top flight spies and shit or people who are trying to undermine America. Fuck, Blackwater helps them undermine America. Blackwater was the gang that George W. Bush sent to New Orleans when Katrina hit and hundreds of people were dying, drowning, bodies, fucking corpses were floating. And George Bush sent Blackwater in to take people's guns away from them and to maintain law and order. So if you were a black man and you broke into a grocery store that was already shattered in order to get some milk or some sodden bread to keep your family alive, Blackwater would either shoot your ass or arrest you for looting. And again, the rotten fucking cynic inside of me can't remember Laura Pickles Bush or Barbara Bush or any of the Bushes lamenting the drowning children and the corpses floating by of people and cows and horses and the mess that was New Orleans. And thousands of people crammed into the Superdome, living in their own feces and their own urine. and no food. You remember the videos? People out in front screaming, will somebody help us? And nobody would. This was the Bush administration. Bush helped by sending in Erik Prince's mercenary soldiers to keep order. So why did Trump hire Betsy DeVos? Because of Erik Prince. Erik Prince, when the time comes, will be able to muster a whole bunch of paid killers to surround the White House with their guns pointing out to prevent people from going after Trump. You think? House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff said this morning, that his panel, House Intelligence Committee, would make a criminal referral to the Justice Department regarding potential false testimony by Erik Prince, the billionaire founder of the private hit squad known as Blackwater and a good friend and ally of Donald Trump. Schiff said during a Washington Post live event this morning, Schiff said, quote, the evidence is so weighty that the Justice Department needs to consider this. Adam. Who runs the Justice Department? Donald Trump's Roy Cohn. That's who runs the Justice Department. Right? Among other things, according to the Post, Schiff pointed to a meeting that took place 9 days before Trump took office. This really got my attention. Between Erik Prince and a Russian financier, an asshole buddy, a ball scratcher of Vladimir Putin, in the Seychelles, how do you say that? Seychelles Islands, which is a British, I think, is that British protectorate? That's in the Indian Ocean. Prince later told congressional officials when he was questioned about this, regarding Russia's interference in the election, that meeting just happened by chance. Both Erik Prince and Putin's buddy just happened. God damn, the coincidence of this just happened to be on a fucking tiny little island in the middle of the Indian Ocean at the same time. Imagine. That's what Erik Prince said. And that meeting was not taken at Trump's directive. You can see Trump on the phone with Erik Prince. I want you to go meet this guy. He's working for my good friend Putin. He helped me get elected. I want you to know him because, when the time comes to combine our militaries, Erik, this guy is going to be important. And fucking Erik Prince, being the scummy fucking traitor to the United States, readily agreed. Oh, sure, I'll go. Why not? I'm all about Jesus fucking Christ and liberty and Christian things like you are, Donald. Prince later told the congressional officials that was all incredible coincidence. Prince was questioned by Mueller's investigators, and he told a different version of the Seychelles meeting that is at odds with several key aspects of his sworn testimony under oath to the House Intelligence Committee in November 2017, which means Erik Prince, the good fucking Christian, either lied to the House Committee or he lied to Mueller. Now, if you were going to decide who you're going to lie to under oath, which would you pick? Right, I would too. I'd pick the legislative committee. What the fuck can they do? Find you, you committed, you acted in contempt, or you committed perjury, then what? But if you lied to Mueller, fucking right to jail. So I would say that Prince's testimony to the House Intelligence Committee was what it was supposed to be. Utter bullshit. Utter bullshit. These guys are just amazing, aren't they? The primary qualifying factor to go to work for Donald Trump is to be a fucking liar. Not just a liar, but a fucking liar. In other words, that you're willing to lie about anything and everything. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.